Hare Krishna everybody, this is again Ramananda Gopala Dasa, and today I would like to speak about a very special subject matter of relationship, especially with the Supreme Person. So let's find out first of all who is the Supreme Person. Supreme Person means somebody who is very high, very supreme, of course. And usually in our Western tradition, we refer to him as God. But this God is kind of opposed, is like a position. When we think of God, especially coming from the some kind of Western or Christian tradition, we think of God as a very, very old person because he's the first person, right? And therefore he must be very old, sitting on a cloud with a long white beard, is very angry and frustrated, and nobody does what he wants, and therefore he is like a grumpy old man somehow. And so nobody really want or is looking forward to such a relationship with such a person. But this relationship or the Supreme Person is actually much more. If you compare it to the Prime Minister of a country or the President, let's say for the matter of example, we choose Mr. Trump for our example. So Mr. Trump, he is the President of the United States and therefore very, very powerful man. He has lots of responsibility and he has to take care about so many things, and he is fulfilling his role. We don't want to comment how he's doing that or whatever. It's just for the sake of this example. So, and everybody who is amongst him as his subjects, they refer to him as Mr. President. It's like if you call God God. This is what he is. This is his function. But behind this function, there's a person. And the ones who work closely with him, like his ministers, they know him a little bit more, in a private way. And they may refer to him as Mr. Trump. And then you have his secretaries, and they may refer to him as maybe even Donald. No, he lets this relationship happen that they call him Donald. And so they know even more about his personality, about his likes and what he doesn't like, and they know him more in a private way. And so this is already quite a step more toward him, to understand him, who he really is. And then when he comes at home to his wife, she maybe has a very special name for him, something like, I don't know, Donny or Darling or something like that. So this becomes even more intimate, and when he doesn't put his shoes in the right place or whatever, she will yell at him and she will tell him off. And she is telling off Mr. President, the whole country, and many parts of this world, they bow down to him, basically. They do what he wants. But when he comes at home, his wife has the right to tell him off, right? And when he is with his kids, I don't know if he has kids or grandchildren, when he's with them, he happily goes down on his knees and his arms, and he plays the horse for them, that they can ride on him. And although he's Mr. President, his kids riding on Mr. President. And guess what? What he enjoys most? Probably not when he is in position and has so much trouble and problems. Most happy he is probably when he's with his children and grandchildren, playing the horse for them. So in the same way, we in our Bhakti Yoga tradition, we try to have a relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, what we refer as Krishna. And Krishna, although he fulfills this post as we call Vishnu, what you can compare the post of God from the Western tradition, and he expands himself in so many different departments with his energy, what you can see as the demigods, who are helpers in all affairs of the regulation of the universe. So this same Krishna, the same Vishnu or God, when he is at home, he lives in a transcendental village, what of course is not like in this world, but this is spiritual world, is something what is completely free from matter. It's only spirit. And there is a village somewhere there in the spirit. There's a village called Vrindavan, and there's a God, very private by himself. And although he is the supreme Godhead for all the universes who are floating out there, when he's in Vrindavan, he is a little boy. And this little boy, he likes to go out with his cows, take care of cows. Therefore, in India, the cow is so sacred. So he goes out with his cows and takes care of them. He plays with his friends. Sometimes his friends, they defeating him when they wrestle. They're calling him ill names, and he enjoys it. It gives him lots of pleasure. And then he's at home with his mother and father. He has, in this village, he has even mother and father. God, right? But why he has mother and father? Because he likes it very much when his mother takes care about him, when she pampers him. And he even enjoys it when she's angry with him, when she is telling him off because he was naughty. So sometimes he is even naughty, and he enjoys that. And he enjoys that his mother even doesn't know that he is actually God. He puts her in some kind of illusion that she thinks he's just a naughty little boy, and it's her duty, it's her right to tell him off. And he enjoys that. He enjoys that very special relationship, right? And so this is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When you cook it down, the position or the post of God, when he's at home and he's private, then he is just served by his devotees. And of course the spirit of the service, because the spiritual world, so the spirit of the service, it's pure love. Pure love. They do it out of love. Mother doesn't tell off the child because he doesn't like the she doesn't like the child. She tells the child off because she loves the child and she want to protect the child. So all these dealings in the spiritual world, they're completely pure. They're completely only based on love. That's the only thing. There's no lust. Nobody tries to enjoy Krishna. And even if there's some enjoyment, he let it happen because he enjoys it much more when his devotees enjoy with him. Yeah, and therefore we can see the relationship in the spiritual world is based only on love. This is the supreme relationship, what is, the core of the spirit, is the love between Radha and Krishna. And to establish this relationship, our relationship with the Lord, this is our aim, what we do. This is the aim of life, actually. This is the aim of all of our bhakti yogis who try to actually serve the Lord. And it's not so easy, because everybody who is in a relationship, and basically every one of us, is in some sort of relationship with his dog, with his cat, with his mother, father, children, with his wife, with his lover and beloved. We in a relationship, and every relationship needs care and attention, meaning it needs service. If you really want to keep the love alive in your relationship, let's say with your partner, then you have to do something for it. It's hard work. And when a relationship is fresh, we are in kind of ecstasy, right? We are in love. And we don't care about time, space, and circumstance. We don't recognize if we're hungry, if we're thirsty, if we need to sleep, because this bodily functions, they are completely in the back. The only thing what counts, what matters, is our love, right? And this is some kind of ecstasy. And basically, what we bhakti yogis, what we try to do is we want to go back into this ecstasy. We want to learn again how to love, because in material world, you're in love, but with time sneaks in, and in the same way, matter sneaks in. So the relationship with the person you first were in love becomes more and more compressed, and more matter sneaks in, meaning you're losing the ecstasy, and more. In the beginning, you thought you do everything for this person. Service was a natural thing; it just floated out of you. You buy flowers, you buy this, you cook for this person, you do so many things. But with the time, then it changes. Love changes into lust, and you think, what is there actually for me? What do I get out of it? Right? And who is this person actually laying beside me? Huh? And this is the point where you can say, okay, I drop it. I'm not interested anymore, because the so-called love, the ecstasy is gone. Or you say, now I establish a real relationship. And then you have to work for it. Then you really have to think how I can serve this relationship. And in this service, there's also purification. So in each and every relationship, there's also difficult times, and you have to go through this. If you want to keep this relationship alive, you have to go through this. And in the end, you will come back that you really come to a pure state of love, where you love this person unconditionally. What you see in old couples, not so often nowadays anymore, but you can see this. They fitting together, they belonging together, no question of separation for them, because the love came back. This relationship was established back, that there is only love, there's only service, that would do everything for each other. So this bhakti yoga process is actually a school of love, how we learn to love again. And there will be challenges, will be difficulties. Sometimes it will be rough. Sometimes you even feel kind of separation from the Lord, or that the Lord gives you a hard time, that Krishna testing you to see how deep is your love, right? And if you're really serious, if you really want to establish your relationship back, actually this relationship is always there, because we spiritual beings as well, but it's kind of inactive, because from our side it's not active anymore, because we chose to be inactive in this relationship. We say, I don't care, like a son or a child, when he reaches puberty, he want to do his own thing. He doesn't care about the relationship of his parents anymore. It's kind of a hindrance, because he want to prove himself as his own being, right? And in this way, he or she, the child, steps away from the relationship. And the parents never forget the relationship. They always know that's our child. They always look out for them. They always will love the child, even if the child actively chooses not to love them anymore. So this is how we approach the relationship with the Lord. We didn't want to have the relationship, and now as human beings, we can decide if we interact again in this relationship, if we make this relationship again active, but that step has to come from us. This is something what we have to how to prove how serious we are with this relationship. And there will be tests, therefore it's not always easy going. Spiritual life is not only like peace and everything is fine. It's hard work, like every relationship, and even harder because you deal with the Supreme Person. So, but what you gain out of it is basically the most precious thing what you can get in this world. It's the supreme love. It's the supreme service. And service, what is not like when we think of service, we think, oh, somebody wants something from us. We have to do something what we probably not really like to do. But the service of the soul, the service of that what we are, is just coming out of us. It's like emanating of us. The service is just there. And it was always there. And we just again learn how we are. We get to know. Self-realization means find out who you are, what you are, which service you are, what is your nature, what is your nature in spiritual world. And this is very, very unique experience. And the more closer you come, the more progress you make in spiritual advancement in bhakti yoga, the more you get to know yourself. You get to know who you are. What is you? Who are the soul? Who is me? Who is you? Huh? And this is our most intimate relationship, what we have with us, with ourselves, with to find out who I am. Right? And when we find that out, then naturally find out what is our relationship with the Lord. So religion or our spiritual path is not only some sentimental thing, it's a very, very scientific based undertaking of the soul, right? And we, since so many lifetimes, we wander through so many different bodies, and finally we have a human body. We can watch YouTube, we can watch, we can communicate even via internet with the whole world. And we speak about so much crap, so much stuff, what is completely unnecessary and what keeps us actually bound in material consciousness. But the most important thing is to speak about our relationship, who we are and who is that person I have a relationship with. And it's, of course, it's a big topic. It's not finished now, right? With this conversation, it's not that we spoke about everything. It's so much more about to say, because like every relationship, it becomes every day fresh and exciting again if you have a real relationship. And this is what we looking forward to. Therefore, we do this process of bhakti yoga, learning again how to love the Supreme Person. Hare Krishna.